Before we kick this show off, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
So it's been a full season for the Under Pressure Outdoors crew in the Hasmore Outdoor Products Silent Seat. And let me tell you, they're worth every penny. And here are some reasons why. Number one, you can't beat the comfort level. Number two, they don't hold in moisture like rain or sweat. Number three, they completely fold out of the way when you stand up, giving you a full range of motion in your climber. And number four, they cut down on your setup and breakdown times dramatically. Don't just take our word for it. Use offer code UPO15 and get 15% off your Silent Seat and many other U.S.-made accessories for your climber today. You can find Hasmore Outdoor Products on Facebook and hasmore.net. That's HAZMORE.net, and in the link in this podcast description.
I'm your host, Will Krebs, and this is the Under Pressure Outdoors Podcast.
So tonight we're in here with, Will's not here this week, so we got me, Jordan, Krebs, I'm hosting it. We got Hunter Rotarius, Florida Way Outfitters.
What's happening?
Jim.
Yes, sir, you suck at cold openings.
My dad, Bill Krebs.
Senior.
Yeah, senior. Yeah, you're Bill, not Will. Hey. We got my uncle, Rob Henson. But tonight we are...
Did you see the way that he wielded that authority with the look at Jordan and made him wither?
Yeah.
I mean, it just never goes away, does it?
That's from years of practice.
I just feel bad because of the way he was walking after he hurt his back from picking that cabinet up.
Yeah.
Let's just wait, man. You're gonna have daddy. You're gonna have daddy power.
I know.
He was walking around like a little old man, had his back all hunched over, taking little tiny steps.
Oh, no, he's feeling.
Well, in his defense, he was probably holding the whole thing. Because you were on the other end of it.
Yeah, he did have the heavy end. He chose the heavy end, though. Don't let him lie. So we're talking deer hunting tonight, man. And we got a couple success stories in here, but we got one big time success story. But Jim, you haven't even been doing much deer hunting this year.
I'm a duck hunter now.
Yeah?
I'm a wing shooter. I hunted ducks this morning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said you had a good run-in with the Bassmasters?
I did. They were fishing on the left and ducks came in on the right. Apparently they didn't see me. Anyway, they was on the deck. They were on the deck, man. Yeah, they were cool though. They didn't say anything. They didn't yell or scream. They just went back to fishing, kept on their line. And
Did they move away after that?
No. I mean, the lake I was on and where I was is not. I mean, there's duck hunters there a lot.
Yeah.
They might not have been where I was because I was a little off the X, but
So that was the only duck you shot at?
No. There was ducks that came through, but I was not giving too much away. I was on the wrong side of a waterway, but I got what I think is a fulvous hole.
Ooh.
You had that whistler duck sound, but it wasn't quite right. And they were in and out of there, and it was behind me. I think I can get to it.
You got my attention now.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get in there.
That sounds like that's a good time. I love some whistlers, but boy, I'd love to shoot fulvous.
I don't know. They're definitely whistlers. I just don't know if they're fulvous, but
Or black bellies.
It wasn't that. It was a little different.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking fulvous.
We were talking ducks earlier before you got here. Retention ponds seem to be loaded with mergansers everywhere I've been going.
Yeah, I ate one the other day.
That's the jalapeno popper of ducks.
That's exactly what I did with it. Yeah. I murked a crow today.
Yeah.
It came in and disrespected my spread. You know how I feel about crows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I actually had Man, it was Christmas morning last year, and I was hunting with a guy, and there was a crow. Dude, it was far. It was like a black speck in the sky. He's like, I bet I can call that in. No, you can't. You stood up, started making crow noises. And that crow, next thing you know, turns, comes sailing right over to us. Flew right over the blind. Launched all 6 shots. Flew away.
They're bulletproof.
He didn't have a care in the world.
How many crows do you see get hit by cars?
Never.
Never. Those jokers leave before. I mean,
You get
a
in-
buzzard and a squirrel, now they'll play a little
Yeah.
tag, but a crow, he don't mess around.
You get in the deer blind and even think about getting your crosshairs anywhere near him. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
flies away.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Every now and again, I'll be bebop along on a WMA, and there'll just be a crow sitting up in a pine tree, just screaming his head off. You walk right up to it, and you're like, "Bye." Wham! So
Sing me the song of your people.
yeah, and I don't know why. I do not know. I suspect it's because their feathers are black, and people, when you pluck them, they don't necessarily look good. But as you know, crow is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, dude. I kind of feel like it's a lot. I mean, I know it's in a different term, but you say eating crow, and people just assume they're like a dirty, nasty bird.
I mean, I don't know. That's like people that are from like Stewart area. I have a buddy of mine that lives down there, and his dad is born and raised right there. And he was like, yeah, back in the day they used to call snook soapfish. They wouldn't eat them.
Yeah.
Now everybody wants. I mean, snook's a great eating fish. So,
That grouper was
perspective,
crap at once too.
perspective, I guess.
Yeah. If I heard
If Jim cooks it, I'll eat it.
Yeah,
I promise.
I heard from a guy. heard from a guy that cormorants taste like crap.
I have no idea. Not sure. Tried anything once though.
I think that same guy said they have a really strong fish taste or smell to them.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard him too.
Yeah. I heard they got really big breasts on them though. Lots of meat on them. Just doesn't taste good.
Give me a season, I'll punch one out. We'll figure something.
I don't know, Jim.
Yeah.
Maybe
Lot of
What is it?
Well,
North Carolina has a season on?
But it's not every year. It's like they announce it. Like today you can kill cormorants, and then of course there's a certain element of people that come out and just lose their ever loving mind. Right?
Those things were everywhere in North Carolina though.
They're water chickens, man. Water turkeys are ugly. They're everywhere. They poop.
On everything.
I really don't understand why. It's like there's people like, it's just, oh my god, we're gonna go out and wipe them out. Good luck.
So outside of waterfowl, we've had a pretty decent deer season. Dad hadn't seen nothing, but he's been hunting quite a bit.
I've seen them. Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Yeah. I've seen more on camera than I've seen from the tree stand.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't been in the. I mean, I've been hunting a spot that I'm waiting on the hogs to come out, or hoping they would,
dude,
and they
those
just
things are
haven't.
Awful.
I've got. I mean, they're steady at night, but they're just not.
Is it public or
How do you
private?
get him to come out during the day?
I got
Really? I have an app for
a
that.
mash.
But they won't.
You tried any kind of mash?
No, we've talked about mixing like.
No, but they're destroying my food plots.
I was about to say. I mean, obviously you're gonna wait till deer season over if you want to do that, but
You have to in Alabama.
See
You
that?
can't hunt them at night until deer season's over.
well, once deer season's over, you see that little rifle leaned up over
I
there.
see it.
Dude,
I'll
that
let
Rick's.
you run her for a little while.
I would say that Rick's. We
Yeah.
need to try and get you in here with Rick's on too.
We could probably make it happen. They're pretty cool. I mean, they're a small company still. I mean, they're
Yeah.
growing like wildfire right now in the industry. But I got a contact. I can.
Let's
send
go
them
for
out.
cord too.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it looks clean. I mean, that's a good looking scope.
I guess so everybody knows what we're talking about. It's
Thermal.
Rick's optic thermal scope. It's the L3 Leap Series. It's a 384 unit. I just got I worked with them and tested the scope out for a while and liked it enough at the end of it that I bought it. So it's my
We're
first.
send you another one to test now.
They're supposed to be sending me a night vision scope in the next couple weeks, but asked them if they could wait till after deer season was over, because the guys in my lease don't like when I'm riding around trying to shoot pigs and stuff at night during deer season.
We'll just swap what's on Ron's or on my AR that Ron's shooting and put a
thermal on it.
Put a thermal on it.
I'm going to Texas in March. I need to test drive that thing before I go.
How about it? $22.99,
Really?
and it's as good as a $3,000 optic.
All right. I've got one, an old one that, man, if there's a little moisture in the air, it just kind of turns everything to blobs.
Another thing that I do, and I'm not plugging them or anything, but just being honest, because we're talking about it, they run off 18 650 batteries, and they get like 6 hours per battery. Those things are $15 on Amazon. Pulsar batteries are $125 a piece, and they last 4 or 5 hours.
Wow.
So I've used Pulsar. Obviously, when you're running an optic that's $3,500, it's going to be better than a $2,200 optic, no matter how you look at it. But I genuinely have used them over $3,000, and I've used that one now for my dad shot 3 or 4 hogs with it. I've shot 2 hogs with it. I shot a coyote with it. I can't justify another $1,000 between the two.
So that thing doesn't have a.
It films video. It's
not rechargeable.
Yeah, they're rechargeable batteries. The 18 650s are rechargeable. That's what I'm saying. I got 4 of them.
Ah.
I just keep them in I got a little chest pack I run when I'm night hunting. And keep them in there. You hunt for 24 hours if you feel like looking through a lit up optic for 24 hours. You might change your prescription. Your glasses.
Put some blue lights on it.
But yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Shoot, yeah. So Rob, we'll kind of dive into this a little bit. I want to know a little bit about, because like growing up, I mean, I know I think you came to Georgia with us once or twice.
I did.
But you weren't always, like the biggest hunter. So
No.
what really got you?
Well, I did hunt when I was a lot younger. We did quite a bit of hunting in Florida, hunting, just messing around.
You gotta get up on the mic a little bit.
Yeah, I did hunt when I was younger. We did a lot of hunting here in Florida, but then just didn't after getting married, having kids, just didn't pick it back up a little bit later after that. So, and then to me, it's just very relaxing, time to be in the woods and just trying to unplug from everything. So.
Yeah. You can just kind of sift through all your thoughts there the whole time.
Yeah, just actually, I like it good. When I'm there, I'm just unplugged from the news. You just focused on the hunt, and not in tune with what's happening in the world. So it's just kind of a nice time to be unplugged from everything.
Just slower pace of life.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that unplug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can get on my tractor and just ride.
yeah.
Yeah.
Put the headphones on. No more chew, no more dip, but put the headphones on and a piece of bubble gum.
You give it up?
I give it up.
Good for you, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, more power to you.
More money in my pocket too, bud. So
Yeah.
I might ought to think about it.
A bunch.
A bunch of money.
Right.
That's what made me give it up.
Start talking them numbers, they get scary by a year's in.
Yeah.
But you've had some pretty good pieces of property over the years. I mean, you shot absolute hammer this year, but you've shot some good deer over the years
Yeah,
too.
we're fortunate. We've had some, and it's starting to get a lot better because we're like 5 years in now to the property. So now we're getting the property figured out, and we've got a good feed program going there now. So it's finally starting to pay off what we're doing there.
You guys got like a certain management strategy going on. You try to wait your deer out to their certain age.
Oh yeah. We try to shoot nothing but 4 years and older. So and the hard part about that is not everybody around there is on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
But fortunately, we have got to know quite a few of the people around us, and they're all getting on the same page with us now. And a lot of the guys are starting to do a little bit of the protein and stuff now, so it's starting to all pay off for everybody. So
That was a big thing with the place that we're on. Is like when we first got on it, the deer density wasn't there, so we didn't shoot any does the first 4 years we were there at all, none. and that's obviously you get 10 a person in Georgia. So we didn't shoot any. I think we shot 4 bucks the first year. We had 6 members, so not even every member shot a buck. We were very patient, and then we had some new neighbors move in. Went over there, talked to them. More or less, we had to literally tell them, "Hey, there's bigger deer here than you think there is."
Yeah.
Like we had to tell them that. They're not running cameras. They're just coming up to hunt, weekends or whatever. They were closer than we were. We're driving 5 hours, 5.5 hours. They're driving an hour and a half. So started talking to them. We're like, "Hey man, look at these trail cam pictures. Like these are the deer we got running around. Like, don't shoot that first, 2-year-old 10 point that you see.
Right.
Try to shoot you a good deer if you want, or shoot what you want to shoot. But this is what we're shooting over here." A lot of times it just comes down to understanding. If you can get everybody on the same page, it creates better hunting for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was listening to it was a fall podcast the other day, and they were talking about how it was like back in Michigan, like back in the day, that they had properties where they just hardly ever saw deer, and they started waiting and shooting older deer, and like now their deer populace has just exploded since they've actually tried to wait on an age class of deer to shoot.
Well, one thing when you think about that is if you let the density of your deer get higher, you got more does dropping fawns, more does getting bred. So it's just, circle of life. There's more there. It's going to keep on pumping out more and more deer. But you also want to keep your, at that point, you got to keep your doe to buck ratio in check too, to make sure the genetics are being spread correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that one thing where a lot of people feel like if you don't shoot does at all, that makes your rut better.
Yeah, no, it's not true. Because then the bucks don't have to get up and move in the daylight.
Right, yeah.
They don't got to look for doe and look for the next doe. She's already laying over there 20 yards from him.
Mm-hmm.
We had that this year a little bit. It was weird.
I was seeing a good chase though. It was kind of hot during your rut though, wasn't it?
It was warm till the end of my vacation. I hunted 3rd to the 16th or 17th, which is usually the 17th is the best day of the year where I hunt every day. I've killed probably 5 or 6 bucks in the last 10 years on that day.
Yeah.
Running does. But that's the day I shot that big one a couple years ago too.
Oh yeah.
But I it's funny because everyone's like, "Oh man, the rut's so great," but trying to pattern them or trying to figure out when you're going to see them.
I've never been able to hit it right.
You can't.
No.
You just got to be right place, right time. He's got to cut that corner of that field and come out in the open, and you shoot him or whatever. But it's easier to shoot deer in the early season if you can get them on a daylight pattern. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you about had that buck pattern, didn't you?
Not really pattern, because we only had him on a community scrape, and he was only at night. He was nocturnal at night. And then what happened was on Monday, I got a photo of him come in late night, just walked by the camera. And then said, okay, well, Tuesday morning, he walked by the camera again, early morning, around 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I'm at work at 2 o'clock. He's there with a doe. I told my wife, I said, I'm going to Georgia.
So before we dive too far into this, you actually had this deer on camera last year?
We did.
Did you have him the year before too, or just?
Last year we had him on camera, but he actually blew up quite a bit from last year to this year.
Yeah. So he was just a smaller 8 last year, or?
No, he was still he was a 10 last year.
Yeah.
So, but he absolutely just blew up this year.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. That's for sure. So let's hear some of the kind of story behind it.
Well, the story is pretty much just about heard it.
Yeah, what I mean, like, the day of the hunt,
Okay, so I left that morning, Wednesday morning, got in the truck, drove to Georgia, got in my stand at 2 o'clock, sitting in the stand. It was really slow, because usually on that lane, down there by the river, I've usually got quite a few does coming there to the feeder. Well, there was nothing. There was turkeys, coons, and possums coming in. And I'm sitting there, okay, well, maybe, there's something got them spooked, they're not coming in. Well, so about 5:38, this doe comes running into the lane, and you could tell she was really spooked, and I had her up in the binoculars, and I was just looking at her. And then all of a sudden, coming out of the woods, I see this massive set of horns coming. So immediately, I put my rifle up, and he walked in behind her, but his body was behind 2 big pine trees. And she was sitting there, and
You know he knew that, don't you?
oh yeah, I know. That's why I had his neck in my scope.
Yeah, he knew. These 2 pine trees, I'm gonna wait to shit.
Yes.
So that way I'm covered by them
Right.
trees. Nothing can see me.
Yeah, and all of a sudden she bolted, and that's when I pulled the trigger.
Not today.
No, you're not walking out here today. So,
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, how many scoreable points does he have now?
well, at the on points he's a 12 point, but the taxidermist actually scored Buck at a 170. But he will go we'll go up to Tifton to have it officially scored in the end of January.
Yeah.
So.
And you were saying, I won't make you name your actual county you're in, just because Lord knows everybody's going on a lease in that county now.
Yeah.
But
Good
he's
luck, because
actually-
there's no leases. So
Yeah, that is one hard thing, man, to find a lease now.
yeah, it's very difficult.
It is. I mean, once you get a good one, boy, you better hold on to it.
That's why
Once you get any lease period, you better hold on
Yeah,
to it,
that's-
good or bad.
I did after I shot that buck up there. I tried to keep it as down low as I could with obviously still showing the deer off a little bit, but
Was
not.
it GON that released your county?
Yeah. After I would never disclosed it in the county that the deer was shot in either. They went off of my GON account, so it may or may not have been that county. That's for you to decide when
Right.
you look at it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, nowadays you run the risk of somebody seeing something and they know somebody else they're sitting on $100,000 in their bank account, and they're like, well, we can get that lease if we want it.
Yeah.
So that's the risk you run now if you're going to be out and about a little bit.
Yeah.
It's hard to play the happy median of doing social media and also not giving up your.
I found some of that information.
It's hard to find that land over there at Disney's Wild Kingdom.
That's right.
Yeah.
Boy, you can kill some deer out there though. Holy cow.
I've seen them. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I know you've done a bunch of work out there. You've had to see
Yeah,
some
I've
monsters.
I've seen some monsters. That's for sure.
I had to go to Melbourne this morning, and I get on the 408, the 417, and right before I get on the 528, there's construction both sides of the road. I'm looking, I'm thinking, what the heck is that? A half a dozen deer standing within 10 feet of the 417.
Yeah.
Red.
Oh yeah.
There's 6-foot fence on both sides of the 417. I don't know where they come from, but it was still dark. But
Yeah.
that early, and there's just no other place for them to go. It's they're building out there like crazy.
We did that small game hunt out there in Christmas, and driving in, I want to say I got there at like 4:30, trying to beat the line, and driving in there was deer everywhere, and there were some like 70-80 pound yearlings. I'm like, come on, you can use out on the road now. Come on. Just smack one on the way in and skin it on the tailgate before anybody gets there. But no, there has been some absolute monsters coming out of Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, it is that sharecropping is doing some magic, son. What are they putting in those peanuts?
Ain't no peanuts on my place. None. It's all cotton.
We had
Cotton
peanuts
seeds.
at the beginning of this year. They done picked it, and we got nothing.
There was
now.
cotton across the street between us and the park, the state land. There was a big
There's a
cotton
WA
field.
over there, yeah.
But we had peanuts, and we were some of the only peanuts around that I saw.
Still no.
That
Well,
close to
I was
us.
gonna say still no deer on camera. Well, we had deer on camera, but we also didn't put our cameras up until.
We have it's strange, and we have a lot of young spikes and 3-points.
and an astronomical amount of those.
Yeah, and just in a little. I mean, we don't have but I think it's 107 acres, but they're all in one spot. They're not. They don't seem to be going.
Yeah, they're all on like the north end of the property.
And it's different for me because usually we've had a piece of property that the deer it's always been a pass through. And I think what we've got now is we've actually got the bedding area.
Yeah.
Because they're like clockwork on that camera.
Yeah.
And at that feeder. Ryland's the only one that's shot anything.
Yeah.
He's done shot enough. Y'all gonna eat all year.
I know. I'm gonna have to work my way back up there and at least snag me a doe.
You're gonna have to talk to Ryland, tell him get a couple back straps from him.
I know. I told him, I was like, you have to save some for me. He's like, why?
Yeah. Which
I told him, I said, I think I'm gonna take you up there next week and let you shoot me a doe. Well, Grandpa, I don't know.
He's like, I don't know, what is my services worth?
Yeah.
He's the least president now.
What's it worth to you?
Yeah. No, my favorite, on the video that's up on the Under Pressure Outdoors podcast or YouTube channel, but was when he turned around and he's like, Dad, I can't wait to go back to the taxidermist because yesterday, or the processor, because when we left yesterday, I told him I'll see you tomorrow.
He wasn't
Will said he knew before he left yesterday he was going to shoot him another deer. That was so funny.
Dude, the thing that cracks me up the most about that is that one where he's got the GoPro on his head and he turns to Will and he's like, Dad, when are we going back to camp for dinner?
Yeah.
William's like, in about an hour. And he's,
Okay.
yeah, okay. That was right before he shot his buck, too.
Yeah. And then was it a buck or a doe? And he goes, I don't know. All I could see was his horns when he came out.
Yeah.
He said, well, it's a buck. Oh, it's a buck. It's a buck.
Yeah.
You can't beat that raw emotion out of especially a kid on their first deer, or really anybody on their first deer, because it's like you literally, they can't control it, and it's just as raw as you can get.
Dude, I couldn't control myself this year when I
know.
shot that.
Telling you.
I'd imagine there had to be. I mean,
Did you get a little excited after you
I was
shot
gonna say there had to be a.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing that when I shot it, so when I went down, because I saw it through the scope, I saw him buck, so I knew I hit it. But I got down there and I shot him in the neck, so I had just a couple little hairs. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So, and then I'm standing there and I'm trying to look for blood, and I seen no blood. And so I said, so I walked where he went in at, and it was the palm fronds that run down parallel with the river.
So we turned back and ran.
He ran straight ahead.
And how do you get a couple hairs from a 300 Win Mag?
Was he close when you shot him?
No, he was about 160 yards. Yeah.
Because I've had that happen. I
could see it close.
Yeah, it's
Close.
like, I don't know if this is really happening, but it almost seems like it's going so fast that the bullet doesn't have time to fully expand. It just pencils through.
I would have to guess if it's that close, probably.
Yeah.
That's weird. I'm not a ballistic.
Yeah, but
expert,
160 is not.
No. It
Yeah.
should be blowing a golf ball size hole.
Well, it blew, from the looks of that picture, it did.
Oh yeah, about that big.
So I do kind of want to preset a scene here. Where are you on? You're on like a food plot, or your food plot borders the river.
The food plot runs down to the river. So
Okay.
the river, we're not running parallel with the river, but we're running toward the river.
So it's like
It's a lane that it was
A
cut
lane.
in. Yeah,
Okay.
we cut a lane in through the hardwoods down to the river.
okay.
So
So he's crossing this lane when you shoot him.
right, exactly. They,
Okay.
actually, we figured out they run parallel with the river, but and also like when the river rises, we got pine islands that are all down with the river.
Yeah.
So that's where they're
Hanging out on
yeah,
those islands when it gets real
yeah,
bad.
Yeah.
So he runs in. You don't see any blood.
No blood. Got to the palmettos. I'm looking. I see one little speck of blood on palm frond there, and I'm like, okay. So I'm standing there. I go, okay, do I call a dog? It's getting dark, So do I need to call a dog? But I'm standing there. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, he's here. I can smell him. So I turned my flashlight to the right. And there he was, laying, right there. and he bled out right there. It was a crazy thing.
So we didn't go, 20 yards?
20 yards, yeah.
Didn't have a chance to bleed.
Took his whole carotid artery out.
Yeah.
Just blew all the blood out of him as it shot through.
Yeah.
And I've shot a pile of them with a rifle and a handful of them with a bow. I will 150% take a bow in my hand over a rifle because I shoot a 308 150 grain bullet. It kills them, but sometimes you hit them in them shoulders and it don't exit. There is nothing to go off of. I shot that buck this year at 150 yards running doe. And he just stopped he didn't stop. I shot at him running the first shot, and that's what made him stop. But he stopped and I shot. Pow. Like you said, I just seen his front shoulders suck up, and he started plowing. I said, well, I got him on the second one. My gun, I was all twisted up in the box stand, but I had laid my gun, knowing better than to do that. But we got these, office chairs and like 4x6 or 4x8 box stands, and that was the chair that I wasn't sitting in, so it was to my right where the deer came in, and I put the barrel right on the top of that chair, knowing that chair is going to move all around when I'm trying to get on him. As soon as I squeeze the trigger, you know how it seems like it's so slow, but it happens so fast. It's like click. I feel my gun like slide a little bit. And that deer just stopped and looked at me. I'm like, oh, semi-automatic. Bam! Shot him on the second one.
If you want blood trails, I've killed a few with a 22-250. It's 45 grain round, but traveling 4,000 feet a second. It does the job every time, and it looks like Freddy Krueger hit him. The problem is that every bite of sausage you eat, you're like, pink. It's like, just
kind of like
shrapnel everywhere, man.
You remember when we shot that?
Man,
We shot a soup can at like 100 yards. Yeah.
no, it wasn't 100. It was like 30 yards or 40 yards away and shot a soup can. And we were sitting on the porch shooting, and pieces of meat were flying back up on the porch. It just disintegrated that can.
The can. There was literally nothing left of the can.
Because you hit it with 22-250?
Yeah.
It was full of water or something, full of fluid?
It was full of soup.
Oh, yeah.
It was full soup. It was an old, expired. The can had expired.
Like a can of
we
beans or
were
something.
looking for something to destroy and shoot, so that's what we found.
Yeah, they're nasty, man. I don't know why more people don't shoot them. Well, they're great varmint round.
Yeah, I know a pile of people that shoot them, like, whatchamacallit, he makes some,
Coyotes?
yeah, the coyote hunting. But the precision, that's like the precision game when they get those 22-250s.
Yeah.
We used to use them to punch woodchucks out when I was a kid. Because they'd be way out there, but, it's going, that's the beautiful thing, as long as it's not a windy day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're 250, 300, there's like no drop. An inch. It's like, you're flat.
Yeah.
But it hit a woodchuck, and like you knew, anybody sitting around, you couldn't see the woodchuck out there, but if the guy shot it, you could tell he hit it. You didn't need binoculars.
Pink mist, like you shot a spray paint can?
It wasn't that bad, because probably if you were next to it.
How
But if it's
far
out-
were those deer that Ronald shot? 60?
Oh,
Not even.
70. One was probably at 60 or 70, and the other was probably at 60.
And shooting that 6.8, Will said it wasn't no blood and it didn't even have an exit wound.
Yeah, I to be honest, I don't even know where he hit either deer. I didn't even see an entry.
One of them, the deer turned towards him right as he was squeezing the trigger.
That was the doe.
Yeah, because
You
she kind of moved into the shot, and that's
But
what
they
pulled her up.
didn't go nowhere.
No,
Ballistic tip,
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't shoot those for that reason.
I only shoot soft points. Period.
I've had, my buddy Jason has lost a couple that way, but he's killed deer. He shot a buck one time at about 100 yards with those soft points, and I swear to God, the deer had a heart attack. I mean, we running your hands all over it, you'd figure you'd find a blood smudge. Nothing. Never found it.
It's hard to find 6.8 rounds is the problem.
Yeah.
And that's what I got.
So, you said you used to
I got
hunt.
some if you need some.
Dude,
Yeah.
6.8s?
Yeah.
So you said you used to hunt in Florida. I never actually knew that. You guys just ran dogs in the scrubs, or did you go up there and still
we
hunt?
just out there when Jerry Ellis and them were clearing all that property out there in Pine Lakes. They logged all that out there, so we were going out there then and doing that.
There's probably some decent deer out there back then.
Well, we were really focused on
You're just shooting anything that moved back then.
deer, ducks, whatever. So,
That was back in the redneck days.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Limpkins.
Yeah. We looked that up. That was one of the the settler's favorite bird, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I know why there's not many of them.
There's a ton of them now. During the right time of year, I guess.
Yeah, I think they're more common than some other. I don't know why we're not having an ibis season.
Oh,
Every time I'm in the March, I have ibis. Like, we ought to be able to get one.
Yeah.
You know.
You ain't got to go to March. Come to our yard.
Yeah, I've got
there
exactly.
every other afternoon.
So,
Grackles, that's another one that ought to be on the food chart.
Yeah.
how old were you when you shot your first deer?
Legally.
Let's see. Probably.
Statute of limitations is up, so we're not worried about that now.
Yeah, I was probably 18, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Just horsing around. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's a long gap. So then you didn't start hunting again until
I really started hunting.
40s?
I started really seriously hunting probably about 7 years ago. Got back into it, you know. So.
You're a sweet little samurai too. You take that thing up there, don't you? Or?
No, I haven't taken it up yet. But
No.
now that I've got another lease down the road, you know, on cold mornings, that 4-wheeler is really hard to ride down the west.
Heard that.
You don't get that rhino running again?
We're working on it, so
Yeah.
it's not running again. But yeah, I was going to tell you, I shot a buck last year at 240 yards with a ballistic tip. Shot him in the chest, 300 Win Mag, 180 grain. The bullet never exited. We took it out of his hip. It went through his chest cavity and it just destroyed everything in the chest cavity. But it mushroomed out and lodged right here in his hip.
No blood though, right?
No blood. No. Well, no, he did not draw. He ran, but we were actually down there, you know, with toilet paper marking little dots, and then he jumped across a slough, and then we were able to see where the water was back up on the bank, and there's where he was laying right there. So.
The Under Pressure Outdoors podcast is brought to you in part by Hang Free. With a mission to provide top quality products for the best possible price, Hang Free believes that the saddle hunting experience is worth more than money. They create both tried and true products as well as debut new items to the saddle hunting community, creating a community of saddle hunters that don't have to break the bank to participate in the hobby that they love. Do yourself a favor and join the Hang Free family this hunting season. They truly have everything you need. Don't forget to use offer code UPO10 at checkout for 10% off your order at hangfree.co.
So, you were talking about earlier, oh man, I can't find any blood. I need to call a dog. Right? I feel like that now, like back in the day, when I was a kid with my dad, that wasn't even an option.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, we're fixing to crawl around or grid search, and you know.
How many times did you crawl on the ground?
I was gonna say, Dad's like, you're lower to the ground. Get down there.
But like you were saying, I think something that's been lost a little bit in today's, you know, social media and hunting and, you know, getting people into it that necessarily don't have like the guidance and stuff. They're just going out and hunting. The art of blood trailing a deer is kind of started to fade away a little bit. It's like, oh well, you got the dog in your back pocket.
Yeah.
I shot a deer last year and I film on my hunt so I can watch the video back and YouTube and all that stuff. I shot a deer. Remember I shot that one in that cotton field at 8 point?
Oh yeah.
I shot that deer directly in his shoulder, quarter to me, at 125 yards with a 308. How it didn't fold him up, I don't know. That deer bounded off into the cotton field, and like you said, I could not find a drop of blood. And I knew that deer was in the cotton field because I never watched him run out of it. So just a little tip, if you're ever in that situation and it is November or your rut, wherever you're hunting, if you get downwind of the last place you saw that deer and he's down right there, you can smell him 100%. The deer I shot this year, same exact thing, not a drop of blood. And I had shot at a pig or something the day before or 2 days before and missed it. I don't know. Buck fever, I guess, but it happens to me. Every once in a while it gets me ate up. But I missed, so I was a little down on my confidence, and I shot the first time and missed that deer. And shot him the second time. My dad's down there, he's like, I can't find nothing. And he's like a bloodhound.
Yeah.
I can't find a drop of blood. I said, Dad, how that deer reacted, I know for a 100% fact I hit him somewhere.
Right.
And what it looked like, it was in the shoulders. In the wind, I could see it because there's like a hardwood chunk. We're right on the edge of a cotton field, and there's a hardwood chunk. And I'm looking at those leaves, and how the wind's been blowing all morning was blowing into where the hardwoods are. So I'm like, well, I won't be able to smell him if you ran in there. Next thing, we're sitting there and we're looking for 5 or 10 minutes, and all of a sudden the leaves, the wind switched just enough, and it's blowing right in my face. I said, Dad, I can smell that deer.
Yeah.
110%. You know that musty smell.
Yeah, smells oily.
And
I used to know it, but
You
I
can
said,
tell them why.
You too, right? Your smell, my smell's damn near gone.
But I told him, I said, Dad, that deer's in that hit, 100%. He's like, I can't smell nothing. And I said, all right, well, I'm just telling you.
Because your old is sin.
It wasn't 10 minutes later, and he's like, he's right here. I said, all right, good.
I've got
I
one
said,
of
good
those.
Lord, I think I'm
thermal.
losing my.
I've got a thermal, like not a spotting scope. What do they call them things? It's like a flashlight for looking.
I was going to say, you
That's
ever
what it's
remember
for.
like
Oh, blood trail.
10, I would say, you ever remember like 10, 15 years ago they had like, it was almost like a blue light, but then it had a red light with it.
Yeah.
And at night you used to be able to shine it on the ground and it would light,
Illuminate
like,
the
it would
blood,
illuminate the
illuminate it.
blood. Those aren't even a thing anymore. Why?
No.
Probably because of the whole,
Thermal.
The thermal optics.
yeah.
Yeah.
The handhelds and stuff. If you got the cash on hand, you grab one.
But dude,
They're worth their weight in gold.
that little light that
That
he
thing will
had
pick
was-
up, man, it could pick up a squirrel 50, 60 yards. You can see it sitting in a tree.
I'm telling you, those
in
little
broad
hand-
daylight.
Those little handhelds are crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I've never blood trailed to do like something with one, but I have used a thermal optic to find something in hardwoods,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like
Yeah.
a Christmas tree in the middle of the
Yeah.
woods.
So with the handheld, are you actually able to see the drops of blood because they're a different temperature than the ground?
So
I haven't got to use it yet.
I'm not 100% on that, honestly. I'm very, very, very new to the thermal game. That's the first one I've ever owned in my life. I've used them, but I've never owned one. But so in theory, without me sounding like an idiot because I don't know in full, like if it's middle of the daylight, like I took a thermal up to Georgia this summer and was
I
hunting.
wish Will was here because he can explain it. Really
Yeah,
well.
exactly. He knows
Yeah.
exactly what he's talking about. But like, I was trying to make sure that the gun was on, and I couldn't see the target. But it was 100 degrees, so everything around the target was the same
Yeah.
temperature as the target, so I couldn't see it. That one came with a little pack of thermal targets that when you pull the adhesive off, it heats up like a hand warmer, and it's in a circle, so you can take it and stick it on a target and shoot it. So I thought that was pretty cool. I've never seen those before. But
Somebody, can't you use tinfoil?
you can use tinfoil and batteries. I did that before as well. I took 2 AA's and rolled them up in tinfoil, and then poked a hole in my target just big enough to where it'll sit in the center. If you hit close enough, you only got one shot. But no, I'm not sure with the handhelds if you'll be able to see the blood or not. You should, in theory, as long as it hasn't cooled off enough to.
If
not
it's
be
fresh
able to see.
enough.
Yeah.
I would think if it's fresh
I
enough.
mean,
it's like holding a GPS. I mean, it's not much bigger than a phone. It's fatter, but
it's just like that.
yeah.
And
They
Pulsar
talk
Pulsar makes them. AGM makes them.
Zeiss makes one.
Zeiss makes one too. I think Riggs might have like a binocular.
I believe.
Binocular. I mean,
Binocular is
Mine,
the way
I
to
believe
go.
mine's a
like-
Leopold.
Oh yeah, the Loophole Tracker is what it's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never used one, but I know the guys that
I haven't
do.
used it, but I played with it in stand. So.
Yeah.
I guess it's happy problems, but I told William when Ryland shot with I was like, man, I kind of miss a good blood trail. Like, you
Not
get a
me,
little-
man.
Yeah, I mean,
Always
like,
have anxiety.
No, I miss a good blood trail.
with a bow in my hand. Yeah, me too. Because I'm like, that arrow stuck him right there where it went in. I
Yeah.
watched it go in, and I watched it come out. I watched him bleed when he ran off. When you're
Man,
shooting at him with a rifle, I get, like you said, I get anxiety so bad. I call my dad. I'm like, I missed him. I know I missed him.
Yeah.
I like when they fall over and the one hoof goes up like, pick me, pick me.
Yeah.
I like when you shoot them when they fall down.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
kick twice.
That's why I said it's happy problems.
You
That's-
kick twice, and I see his horns. I'm like, oh, I'm shooting him again. I'm shooting him again. I've heard too many of them horror stories that get up and run off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The first racked buck I shot, it was 14 years old, and I shot him, and he didn't run, but maybe 20 yards, and then hit the dirt. But he was kicking like crazy, and I was like, nope, not today. Put another one in him. I'm like, not getting away from me.
I remember the first deer I ever shot. I was with my dad. We were hunting in a peanut field in Georgia. We were sitting in a regular hub ground blind, one chair. I'm sitting on his lap. I was about 7 years old, and I had a single shot Thompson Center 7mm 08. We still have it. I shot my first deer with it. My brother, my sister. So maybe one day my kids will shoot one too. But so we're sitting there, and my dad had 2 sticks stuck together and duct taped or something. Whatever makeshift little rest for me.
This is before they made shooting sticks.
No, it's probably before we could afford to buy some shooting sticks. But so this doe pops out, and I couldn't get on her. Whatever. She goes back in the woods, and another deer pops out. He's like, "All right, you ready?" And we're hunting on somebody else's place that they, invited us to come hunt for the weekend for me to shoot a deer. The deer comes out there, and I'm like, "I'm ready. All right, get on him, just squeeze." The dad talked right in my ear. Deer falls down. Dad jumps up and flips the whole ground blind off of us. Oh my God, you got him! You got it! Blah 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 blah. And we're hugging, and he's about to cry. It looks like, and we're raising Cain, and we look up, and the deer is up and hauling ass, getting gone away from us. Hey, he flipped that single shot. And like I said, I'm 7 years old. I don't know what's going on. He said I killed him. Now the deer's running away. I'm about to start crying just because that. He kicks that Thompson Center open, throws another bullet in it, shut, and says, "Hold still." He rests the gun on my shoulder. I'm like, woo! Yeah. I'm plugging my ears, trying to get away from that barrel. He's like, "Hold still." Oh, deer falls down. He's like, "We got him."
I remember those days. Hold still. Let me put the gun on your shoulder.
Hold still. He'll still do it. I said, "You ain't putting that nozzler on my neck. I can promise you." But
Yeah, we know better now. Back then, you're just like, all right, Dad.
yeah, back then you don't even go for your ears to plug them. You're just like, okay. Like, I'm not doing nothing with my hands. They're just sitting here. But
I went out to Colorado and went elk hunting and went to shoot a mule deer, and the guide was trying to get me closer. We got as close as we thought he could, and he said, "Go ahead, put that on my shoulder." And I was shooting a 7mm with a boss.
oh,
And I went to lay it up. He says, "Oh, no.
never mind.
Let's get up to that fence post, not with that thing."
I'm telling you,
A little bit of flames come out of that boss.
it's funny.
Those bosses are rough.
That's like my dad now. Everywhere I go, even when we're up in Georgia just hunting, BSing around, I always have a pair of those electric walkers in my truck or in my pack.
Yeah.
Always. He's like, "Why do you carry those things around?" I said, "Because I want to." He goes, "What?" I said, "That's why."
Yeah.
'Cause he cannot. I'll give my dad. He can see. He can do just smell anything. God Almighty, he cannot hear.
I got a set at the house. I think Walker makes them. I think you and Mom got them for me a while
They're
back.
walkers.
I think they're Walkers. But they're just like wireless headphones.
Oh
They
yeah.
push into your ear.
Oh,
They're the
no,
same
those
thing.
aren't walkers. Those are something else I bought.
They're the same thing as muffs,
Yeah.
but they just push into your ears. They amplify everything just like the muffs would.
I've never found a pair that will fit in my ears, that will stay in my ears for whatever reason. So I just went and grabbed me some of those.
I saw
muffs.
Michael Waddell the other day form fitting some to his ear.
I saw that too.
Boiled him like a mouthpiece.
Yeah, those are a couple $1,000s.
Yeah.
About that.
He didn't.
Wow.
He didn't pay for them.
I got to get something new. I've noticed, because I've been doing more duck hunting, man, and just a combination of me shooting and guys shooting around you. I'm starting to notice, like, we're driving, and then you got the mud motor, man. I get back in the truck afterwards, and I'm just like,
That's why I bought him.
Yeah,
That's why I
this has
bought
gotta
him the
change.
muffs, Jim. When he got that mud boat, we bought him the muffs.
Because those things are loud too.
Yeah.
Mine was ungodly.
Oh God, yes.
Well, you got to think too. My dad's that dad that, we grew up with airboats and whatever.
Yeah.
We ain't never had no damn earmuffs on. He's like, all right, you want to ride in the top or the bottom? I'm like, no, farthest one away from that big fan thing. But,
Oh yeah, man. I'm excited for what's left in deer season. Though, you gonna get back out there? It's kind of hard after you shot one that big to.
Yep.
You shoot next to doe.
hey, take it from me. Last year, don't worry, those 140s are still fun to shoot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get back out a couple more times. So.
Yeah.
You were talking
Yeah.
about shot placement earlier. I didn't mention it, but my favorite place is just blow the horns clean off them. Yeah, I'm just not a big horn collector. I mean, if it's a really nice buck, obviously I will. But if it's a 6-7 point,
My dad likes to do that on does every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you're just nasty.
no, man.
Load that deer in the
Hey.
truck. That's gross. Come on now.
No,
You don't waste no meat, and they don't run.
Hold on.
exactly.
I guess, but goodness.
Since statute of limitations, we used to have a place in Georgia, and shoot, I don't know, this is probably another 15 years ago or so, if not more. And because I wasn't driving yet when that happened,
No.
you still had that old tan Duramax. But he was wandering out one night and, like, in the darkest dusk, not quite dark.
Why sat till dark? I mean, till I couldn't see no more.
He shot a set of eyes with his headlight.
Hey, whatever. Hey, punching tags.
Yes,
It was-
could do that thing.
It was like 30 yards away from when I got down on the stand. I was walking back, and I'm looking at, and I just see these two green eyes, and I'm like, well, the last time I seen one bedded up like that, it was a pretty decent buck. And I got it right between the eyes. One was this way, and the other one was that way.
Yeah. No, they blow right out of the skull and things, but
Whatever
I like
it
to
did,
do
though.
it really for, not for I'm not because I'm trying to be gross or nasty. It's, you hit it right in the money, you do that. And because there's no, you don't get any blood to chest cavity, so
Nope.
you can, once you bust that thing open, you can surgically take all the guts and everything out in one big pile. And what you're left with when you're done looks like a carcass that came out of the, butcher shop.
slaughterhouse.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Like, meat comes out beautiful.
You don't mess up no shoulders or back strap.
Nope.
You ever say Jim's an organ meat man too?
And you can
so-
get a good neck roast off of it too.
You
Yep.
ever tried to eat organ meat out of a deer other than the heart, Rob?
Nope.
Oh, that man right there can throw down on like that. Hunter, what he had, was it that haggis or no, it wasn't haggis. What'd you bring in that night?
Liver. Something with liver.
Oh, that was coot though.
And I cannot, I
Yeah.
will tell you right now, I have tried liver 100. I love a chicken gizzard. I will eat 5 pounds of chicken gizzard, especially that spot up there towards Altoona.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
tear that place up. But a liver, I'm like, oh, those are darkened gizzards. I don't want those. And I've tried them and tried them and tried them because my grandpa loves them. And he's always told me, he's like, well, your taste buds change as you age. You need to try it every couple of years.
That's true.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then Jim comes in here and he's like, hey, I got, he had a smorgasbord stuff. The whole table was full of salmon and all kinds of stuff. I can't even remember everything that was out there. I said, what is that? It looks like paste. He's got crackers and or little
I had toast points. Man.
little toast points or whatever. I'm like, what is that? He said, cute liver. I'm like,
Coot pate, man.
ain't no way. Well, he said, that's what he said first. Cute pate. I said, is it any good? He's like, well, I wouldn't have brought it if it wasn't. I said, all right, well, I'll try it. I'll try anything once. I ate it. I'm like, that's pretty dang good.
Oh no, wait a minute. I don't know. One of you was like, whoa. I said,
That was
trust
me.
me.
I was like,
You gotta eat more than
yeah.
one because the liver, even with all the butter and spices and seasonings, it's just not in our typical palate. But it's kind of weird. It's like you eat it and it's salty and it's kind of almost like when you eat something hot and you find yourself like trying to eat more of it to get your mouth cool down. You get the liver thing, you're like, oh man. The next thing you know, you've eaten the whole ramekin full.
You kind of eat it and it hits you and you're like,
I don't know if I like that or not.
yeah, you're like, I'm gonna have to give that like one more try just to see if it still tastes the same. And then you're like, maybe just one more time. The next thing you know, you're like, oh, this is pretty dang good.
That's what Will tried it and was like, no, I don't like it.
He makes a meat steak and kidney pie too.
Yeah.
Kidney pie.
Yeah, it's good, man. Kidneys. The penny musica, I think is how you pronounce it. It's the strangest one. That's lung and spleen.
You guys have
Fried.
got to film this guy making some of this stuff.
Go-
He'd be the next liver king.
If he didn't live all the way in Longwood.
Old liver king.
Yeah.
Come in, Jim's got
We need to
samurai
put it, yeah.
swords and stuff.
We did a studio with a kitchen in it.
You wouldn't think that fried lung and spleen would. You gotta be kidding me, right? But it's they eat it in Sardinia and Sicily, and it was traditionally Jewish cuisine because I mean they were just discriminated against and they couldn't get anything but the gut pile. And
Man,
yeah, with cheese, and it's
I
shockingly good. You would. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Some people eat monkey brains too, but I'm not eating them.
That's what started COVID.
But it's not mushy, man. It's not. It's actually very crisp.
It's crazy.
That was. I just did it to see. Like I'm like, really? They eat that shit? Wow, it's actually good.
If they can eat it, I can.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Give it
not.
to Jim. He'll eat anything.
It's not. It's unpleasant to make because you got to boil the lungs before you fry them. But it's if somebody else makes it for you, you know, and you just get these nice thin sliced wafers of meat that are breaded with the melted cheese on a really good bun. You're mowing that down like, man, that was awesome. And then when I say that's lung and spleen, you'd be like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's what it's pro.
It's street food over there.
About 99% of
They ate a
people
bunch of it.
that have eaten deer meat that aren't in any way, shape, or form a hunter or eat it regularly, and someone
Love it.
cooked it like hell, and it tastes like hell. They're like, deer meat. Oh, no, I'm good.
I don't
remember going to-
understand how people ruin it. Like,
I remember going to school.
easy.
We got some one time from a processor that used
Some other kind
pork
of fat.
fat.
Yeah.
but I don't know if it was month-old pork fat, but it was bad.
Like the
I-
sausage or something.
Yeah, it was burger. It was burger, but he used it was
Pork.
over near Willacoochee, and
It was rancid.
it was nasty.
Yeah,
I gave every bit of it away. I
boy in
just
Madison,
gave it to
though.
somebody at work that I'm like,
I'm like, hey man,
you
I don't
couldn't
really.
do nothing with it.
I know you've been asking
It's
for this
terrible.
deer meat. I don't really like you. Here you go.
Well,
There's a whole cooler full.
Yeah.
He's like, man, that deer meat's kind of funky. I'm like, yeah, that's how it always is. Don't ask me for any more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
I saw a thing. I see it about every year. Somebody's like, if you want deer meat, buy me a gun.
oh yeah, they're like all your buddies that are asking for deer meat. Just tell them to buy you a new rifle. You get them all the deer meat they need.
Yeah.
Put a price on that stuff per pound.
$600.
Oh, it's,
Yeah.
oh no, I might be a little high on the end. On
Yeah,
that. I got
yeah,
one
that's
deer
right.
this year, so
Yeah.
I'm still living off of 2 years ago.
Hey, I did mine. I mean, mine's pretty good at price this year because I shot mine on public land. So
yeah.
Yeah.
You got yours. You paid for yours in sweat equity.
Really?
Mine
You got
came right out of my
that?
pocket.
You got that taxidermy bill?
yeah.
Yeah. Just went up,
Well,
didn't it?
meat wise, yeah. Meat wise, taxidermy bill. I should be picking that deer up Friday or Monday too.
Can't wait to see it.
I'm excited to see it too. So you're just gonna hit the record book. So do you have any idea where? Like, what's the record in your county?
Non-typical's 186, I think. Typical's around 163, I think.
Ooh, so you're gonna be right on it.
I see.
Yours will be a typical, right?
Yeah.
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 Whew.
You
That's
might
awesome.
beat it.
Told you should have saw that one little spot.
Yeah. That's the thing, got one more kicker. That's a deduct, you know, so. But,
I had a.
Must have broke.
That's our profession.
I contacted a guy down here to do a buckmaster sport. And never heard back. There's only a couple people in Florida that even do them. But
Buckmaster scores everything, don't it?
well, so they don't do it's net or it's gross.
Yeah.
So they don't do net scores, Buckmaster, and then what's the other one? Boone and Crockett. Boone and Crockett is they come in there with a wire, and the guy that knows what he's doing, you ain't getting no 8s nowhere.
Right.
So I had a guy, FWC guy down here, score that buck I shot my bow 3 or 4 years ago. That 8-point, he was like 114 and a quarter or something. That's the first registered deer I ever shot. And then I had him score my Georgia buck. He's like, man, I might have been a little off. I ain't scored one this big in a really long time. And I'm like, is he 160? He's like, oh, I think it was 162 and 3/8. He's like, I had to look at the sheet or whatever. And I'm like, as long as he says 160, I could care less after that because I know he ain't gonna make the 7. So, but it's funny how that works too. You start looking at them. I saw the picture of your deer. My first thought, I think I messaged him. I said that deer might be pushing 80, just based off the pictures. But until you put them in your hands and you see the mass, that's when you're like,
That thing looks like he's got some serious mass.
Oh, he did.
that's
Like
what I,
all the way through his beams.
Yeah.
the
A little
beams.
bit of bladed in some of the horn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's like-
Yeah.
If you look at a score sheet and you break it down where you're getting the most, everyone's like, oh, that deer's 24 inches wide.
Nope.
That don't matter because I get 5 mass measurements on, or 4 or 5, whichever one it is, on each side, and if each one is over 5 inches,
Yeah.
you got 25 inches on each beam. That's 50
Yeah.
inches right there.
Mm.
So that's what blew my mind the first time I grabbed that deer. I couldn't fit my hands around the bases. It was like 6 and 3/8 or something.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And then the mass measurements was 6, 5 3/4, 5 3/4, and 4 7/8 on both sides. So you're talking almost 50 inches of mass.
How wide was your buck inside spread?
16 and a half.
And he's pushing 70.
Yeah.
That is a dang giant.
Did you see how tall that freaking thing
Oh
is?
yeah. His times I feel like 11.
Well, you know, somebody that we used to hunt with, you probably wouldn't have been able to shoot a buck because it wasn't wide enough.
That's right.
I won't say no names.
It wasn't
but-
out past this year's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one night
yeah.
back in the years.
It used to be
Yeah,
like
he
that.
hunted there too. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Man, a 70 is at 16 and a half inches wide. That's giant.
There's a lot. There is a ton of mass. Like it almost looks like, and maybe it's just because Rob's a little shorter, but it almost looks like Rob's holding on to this Yeti cup when he's holding on to those
Hey,
horns. Like,
He's massive. Yeah.
He's just jealous. We got that going for us. Have you ever tried to take pictures of someone that's 6'5", 250?
Can you see if you can wrap your hand around Jordan's wrist, Hunter?
yeah,
I bet you can.
I'm sure he can.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Hell, I can get around his calf probably.
I'll take you for distance though.
Oh yeah. Oh, all day.
I couldn't believe it when Hunter, because he had told me when he first shot that buck last year, he's like, man, it's like you're holding a soda can in your hand. I was chilling at his house one day. I can't remember why I was over there doing
You come over
something.
there with Ethan, or
Easton.
Easton.
Yeah, and he had the skull cap off that buck, and I was standing there with the beer in my hand. He handed it to me, and I was like, "Holy cow!"
I
I've been
remember-
holding the base of these horns. And it's like my hands are the same thing on it.
I'm
Jesus.
telling you. The only thing that I'm
Was
not-
it an ultra?
No, it wasn't an ultra either. It wasn't a White Claw. It was the Bush Light probably. But the only thing that really sucked about that whole thing, which nothing really actually sucked about it, but my dad wasn't there, and my dad was in Kentucky, and I called my dad. I said, "Hey man, I just shot the biggest deer any of us have ever seen in our life. Now I'm not pulling your leg like this deer's 50s all day. Ain't no way." I said, "Dad, I'm looking at him. I'm standing on over top of him. FaceTime me right now." Well, he's in Kentucky. He ain't got no service. I'm in Georgia. He ain't got no service. Send me a picture. Picture won't go through. Now he's getting pissed. "Are you pulling my leg or what's going on here?" I said, "You can ask Joey and Mike. They're standing here with me." And Joey's like, "Yeah, Jimmy, you ain't got nothing that looks like this on the wall." You know, because Joey and my dad have been best friends since high school, but he was just pulling his leg. But if he would have been there for the whole experience, it would have been a little different. But I was so, I don't know, like I tried to slow down and, you know, just kind of bask in it a little bit. I didn't film. Well, I didn't film an outro at all. I'm a producer. I'm a producer guy. You know, content. I didn't film no exit interview. I didn't film nothing but my genuine reaction with a GoPro, and it was dark as can be. All that stuff because I was genuinely just starstruck.
Yeah.
That I would. I'm like, I'd never in a million years in South Georgia think I'd shoot 116.
Right.
I was gonna say, so Rob, like, what goes through your mind when you walk up to a deer and you realize it's probably the biggest deer you're ever gonna shoot in South Georgia?
Well, first thing is, call my buddy up there that is a farmer up there that he and I, we do share a piece of property, and we share deer pictures all the time because we're only a couple miles apart, so we're trying to just see what deer we're patterned up, but crossing over. But so I called him and I said, man, I killed a giant. He's like, what? He goes, I'm an hour away. He's like, but it was it's hard to explain. The thing that got me was like so you get there, you have to all. So everybody's asking me, you gonna hunt tomorrow? You gonna hunt tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I'll probably hunt tomorrow. I get laid down in the campground. There, it just starts replaying back through my mind
Over and over
I couldn't even go to sleep. I just
Hunting tomorrow. I've been hunting all night, back and forth, over and over.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
So it's like it's a rush you can't hardly describe. You know?
Yeah.
So, but when the farmer did come to up there, he got to me that night, and he's like, man, he says, he's like telling me, he says, you know, let's ride around with this thing, man. He says, if it were me, he says, it wouldn't come out of the back of my truck till the buzzards are circling.
That's right.
You remember Puddin' when he shot that 8-point?
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you that another like you. I want to show it off a little bit, right? I want somebody to see it besides just me and the two guys that were there with me. I was scared to death to cape that deer.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if I mess up this cape,
You can buy a new one.
I'm about to go shoot another deer,
Yeah.
and hopefully it's somewhat close.
Right.
And so I took it up to the guy. I'm like, hey man, do y'all cape him? If he's big, if you want to get him. Yeah. I said, all right, good deal. Well, and I had done I was talking to a kid, which I knew that. I should have said, hey, can I talk to so-and-so, because I can't remember his name. But I took it up there and they caped it like normal. I can't take it back to Florida no more.
Yeah.
So now I got a deer head that's froze solid,
Right.
and it has to be skull capped to take it back in the state. So then I had to go dig around and find another person that will skull cap them. So not only did I have to drop him off at one processor, I had to take him to a taxidermist to have him do it. But I was, like I said, cloud 9 when I walked in that processor, dude. Like, you're good.
Yeah.
I ain't
You're
worried
pitching
about
the biggest tent in town right now.
So, I walked in there and I drug the deer out of the back of the truck. It's a good buck. He's like, yeah, man, that's the second biggest one we had in here today. I'm like, what? He said, you want to see the other one? I walk in there, there's a 190-inch deer in that cooler. I said, God! And then, like you said, the deer ain't 17 inches wide. That's tines are 18 inches long. I'm like, oh, where'd you kill that at? He said, some guys from South Florida, some Cubans coming here with it earlier and asked if this was a good one. He said, I felt like smacking the hell out of him. But yeah, some boys from South Florida shot that one that was 190. I ended up talking to them.
People.
They got 40 acres.
Is that a good one?
Shot that deer on a 40-acre piece of property.
Yeah.
Right time, right place.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why it's nice to have a good taxidermist in Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm about to find me a good one.
Just don't use
I don't know.
what was that? Oh, Triple G.
Are you far from Valdosta?
I drive right through Valdosta.
It's a Wildlife Creations Valdosta. He does all kind of exotics and everything like
I
that.
had to look him up.
Yeah.
Because I brought it back and had a guy from South Florida do it for me, but old Raoul did it for me. But I haven't seen the deer yet. It's at my buddy's house in Stewart.
Well,
He picked it up.
I was the same boat. When I got back, I had to drag him out of the woods by myself. I was there by myself, so I dragged him out of the woods by myself, get back up to the camp, get him loaded up in the truck, because I called the processor because I knew they closed at 8.
Yep.
So and it was like 7:45. So I called myself, I'm coming. They said, all right. So I got over there and but the guy there, they got him caked out for me. And But it was all under. That's why I only got the pictures in the back of the truck because I was
Yeah.
by myself. You know,
I figured that.
That isn't even a task in itself just to get it in the back of the truck.
Well, I'll use because there's a ditch right there. Or I pick up right there.
Yep.
Just drag you back.
I'm telling you, hey, you grab a hold of them on the
Because there was no way I was
back
pulling
up.
Yeah,
No.
there was no way I was pulling him up the back of that truck
No.
by myself. So. Plus it was wet, it's
Mhm.
because he was down there and it was already really muddy down there, getting him out and everything.
Yeah.
So
Oh man, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
just something about just reliving a moment through other people. Think about walking up on a big deer, just get you ready to be back in the woods again.
The crazy thing is, so like you had the deer on camera and everything, so you knew what deer you were hunting.
right. Well, I didn't know that he was. I had him there that day, and I was just that was my plan.
Yeah.
But you know how that goes. 'Cause
Well-
my wife even said to me like, "Yeah, you'll go there. He never shows up when you're there."
They can smell you. They don't get that big for being dumb.
No, that's right.
But that buck that I shot, I run trail cameras on that place all over it
Yeah.
from end of July to now, to January.
Right.
Never had a single picture of that deer till the night I killed him, ever. I call him a nomad buck.
Yeah.
He just come out of nowhere and like you, right place, right time.
Yeah.
So you talk about walking down there, and you seen the GoPro video. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. I'm like, I just shot the biggest deer I've ever seen in my life. I shot in my hands were
You
like
said it
Ricky
like
Bobby.
3 times, yeah.
I was the biggest deer I ever shot in my life, and I genuinely didn't know how big the deer was.
Right.
Still, and I just saw him at 150 yards. But then I walked down there and I'm like, oh my god. But
Well, no, that's the same way I was because we had him on camera, but the camera didn't do him justice.
Oh, yeah,
And then
no.
when he stepped out of the woods, it's like, oh my god.
no.
How the heck does his neck hold that crap up?
Well, and that's like the picture was literally seconds before I shot him.
Yeah.
Shot him. The next picture is me standing over him with my rifle on my shoulder, which is pretty cool. But I full HD'd that picture and sent it to my dad the next day. I said, "Tell me you wouldn't have told me this was a 3-year-old deer." Because he was run down bad.
Yeah.
Like he was only 180 pounds, 175 pounds. I said, you would have looked at this picture and goes, "Woo, that deer's going to be a slammer next year." He's 160 inches.
Yeah.
But that's where this trail camera is. It's like, you're like an illusion.
Yeah.
Sometimes different angles and stuff.
Man, I almost miss, trail cameras have become an essential tool, but I almost miss the days, back before you really knew what you were chasing. You were just out there to hunt, to find something.
I agree with you to an extent, depending on what you're trying to do with the property. If you're just hunting, it's great. Don't put a camera out.
You think about this though. You said it. You never seen that deer on a trail camera.
Ever.
Yeah. Well, it's like that
I mean-
that weird, wonky one I got now. It's never.
We never seen it on a trail camera.
Yeah.
And you seen that one once or twice on a trail camera?
Oh, well, this year we had his nocturnal at night,
Yeah.
on scrape,
Yeah.
and then he came in to that.
Like right now, all I'm seeing on our place down in Alabama is deer at night.
Yeah.
But yet, there's another camera. It's all in the morning. But
Yeah, right there by camp.
yeah,
Well,
right by
I'll tell you
right by camp.
another thing, and I've seen them do it before, especially down here. I don't know why, but like people that hunt the Midwest, go hunt the Midwest, deer don't look up. They don't look up in the tree at you, you know what I mean, when they're hunting. They're just moseying along, they're walking through the woods like normal. These deer down here, they're like,
They've learned to look up.
that ain't a damn raccoon.
Yeah.
And they're
learned to
gone.
look up.
There's
those-
a big silhouette in that stand.
And I'm a
yesterday.
huge trail camera guy. I love seeing them taking inventory, seeing their patterns and all that. But down here, I got a buck down here that will literally walk around that tree. I've watched him do it.
With a camera on it.
He will not. I'm telling you, in the soybeans, there's like from where it slings them out of the feeder, it slings them in a big old circle. You will not see that deer underneath that feeder in the daylight. Ever. So I started putting cameras where I thought he was coming from, in between. Shoot, there he is. Every 7 days, or 10 days, or whatever. But I still can't believe I didn't get that deer killed this year.
You still got time left.
No. But it's hard to get. After that, I take a big November vacation. It's hard to get motivated to go sit.
It's hard to get motivated after you kill something. I don't know what it is. I want to get back out there bad and shoot another one. I got it running through me now to get back out there now that we're talking big deer again. But
Well, I was talking when we first started that I wasn't going to go this weekend, but
I changed your mind.
I'm going to change my mind.
he's gonna take some power pole anchors and anchor that camper.
Yeah. Anchor the camper in my butt.
Yeah. You need some of those dang shooting houses Rob has. Some of the ones he's built, son.
Yeah. That's actually what I shot that buck out of. One of those.
Yeah.
Which they're great because you know, you can shut the windows and keep your scent in there and run your O's on if you want to. And
Sweet.
You can run a little buddy heater in that bad boy too.
Yeah.
I know I hunted out of one of them one time and I brought a little buddy heater with me. I was sitting up in there. I had my
Sweat?
jacket off. Yeah. I had my boots off. Just sitting there in my socks and one pair of pants. Somebody, I think one of my other buddies was in that was like the day before Mike killed that buck on y'all's property over there.
Okay.
And then he's sitting in a buddy stand. He's like, dude, I am cold as shit. And I'm like, I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt and one pair of pants. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm warm. It's like 20 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Telling you.
No, I think the trail cameras though, I think when you're trying to, you got all your investment into a piece of property because it is a big investment.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's an asset to protect your investment.
That's what I was
Yeah.
getting at with depending on what you're trying to get out of the property. If you're trying to shoot some deer and fill your freezer, you don't really need to run cameras. You just shoot deer you want. But if you're, like you said, it's an investment in your time, your money, your everything.
Right.
If you're putting all that time in and you're like, man, like honestly, the deer I shot this year, if I'd have seen him eating at a feeder at 100 yards, I probably wouldn't have shot him.
Kentucky's talking about banning cell cams.
There's a couple.
There's several states I've been reading this.
So-
I wouldn't doubt that Georgia would follow suit if it goes through in Kentucky.
So you know why?
I don't know about Georgia. I don't think so.
You know why?
Yeah.
Why they're pushing to have it outlawed? From the instant transfer stuff.
Yeah.
To where you're sitting at the camp
Yeah.
and a deer pops up on a feeder and you can get there quick enough and they're shooting.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's why it's like Boone and Crockett. You can't register it if you have it if you're running cell cams.
Yeah. Supposedly, I don't really care.
Because it does make sense. There's that certain YouTube channel out there that does that. Like, hey,
Yeah.
there's old lefties over here at this camp. Let's get down out of this stand and run over there and.
I still think it's I don't know. It's just a tool.
Yeah.
It's a tool. It's been
Depends
created.
on how you use it.
The technology's there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
You've
not gonna,
still got to be there
I
at the
love
right place and the right time.
Well, that's,
That's-
for what we use it for, especially for like we're sitting here doing a podcast and you're talking about your trail cam pictures. I was looking at mine earlier.
Yeah.
That's 5.5 hours away. I can scout from here
Yeah.
instead of having to be up there. And you go up there, you spend the time, the money, gas, and whatever else you're doing. You're like, man, I saw 4 deer this weekend.
Or you gotta go in and if you don't have a cell cam, you gotta go in and pull the cars. And,
You put-
Yeah, you're putting your
Signal
scent
it, right,
everywhere.
yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me. That property in Florida, I haven't been back in there except to fill the feeder one time since late October. It hasn't been touched, and those bucks are starting to show back up.
It ought to be a monster next year if you don't.
I don't know.
Unless it's gonna go downhill.
He was an 8 point last year. It's probably the biggest Florida deer body wise I've ever seen. I mean, he's probably pushing 180 pounds or so. But he's just a big old heavy 7 point. But I don't know, man. That one, I had a really, really nice 8 point in there early season. That he was probably pushing 120, 125 inch 8 point for down here, and I don't think he was 4.5. So he should make a really good jump between this year and next year. But the other deer, the 7 point, I had pictures of that deer for 5 years now. Since 2018.
I think we're gonna go ahead and round this one down. So, what's anybody got any closing thoughts for us?
I say earlier? I said, this is a good tip. Now I can't remember what it was.
Never stand up in
Never see it.
Never pee into the wind.
Yeah, there you go.
You're pretty close, but it was get downwind to your deer so you can smell them in the field.
Oh, yep, that's what it was. And when
You rambled through all that stuff.
if that would be my tech tip of the week.
Yeah.
If you know what it smells like, a buck smells like, and he's on the ground and you think he's close, walk a circle and use your nose. You'd be surprised how often I've done it a couple times where I've smelled him before I could see him.
Yeah. I want to say, know your anatomy, man, because Rob knew we could shoot that deer in the neck because he knows what he's aiming for. And a lot of people just kind of round body pull. And that's how you get people that, hey, yeah, I need a
Don't
dog.
bring Al into this conversation.
I mean, that's why a lot of people end up needing dogs.
If anybody needs any tips on where to shoot deer, you can call Rylan.
Yeah.
He
We'll have it back.
He ain't had to look for any of his yet.
He's going to put on an expo here soon.
Yeah, clinic.
Yeah, clinic, yeah.
Once you start murking coots, it's really hard to stop.
Can't deny that.
Once you shoot one, you're like, well,
I missed the Moore
I need a few
hen
more.
hunt this year.
Trigger time, trigger time, trigger time. That's the key.
Son, you get that barrel warm shooting some coots. I
you know,
like letting them clump up, seeing when you can get in one shot.
yeah, but that was part of it. I was like, I can't pass that up. But, once you shoot a coot, you got 2 little breasts and 4 pieces of meat if you're doing jalapeno poppers. You get 6, man, you're good to go. You got 24 jalapeno poppers right there.
Grill full.
Yep.
All right, that's it, boys. We're out.
Don't give up.
Yeah. Adios.